So I think we're a little bit biased when it comes to this topic, although the data really is confirming kind of what we've been saying, that the gut really is the nexus of health. We have heard Hippocrates said all disease begins in the gut, but we really are starting to see so much of it is rooted in the gut, with over 70% of our immune cells rooting there in the gut-associated lymphoid tissue. We're seeing that inflammation can generate in the gut, which can spark high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar, even cancer. So gut health, I think, deserves the spotlight that it's been given these past several years. And I think now people are really starting to realize just how much they've struggled with their gut health. I think that a lot of times we learn to downplay it because it's been a bit of a taboo topic, and we don't want people to know that maybe we're gassy or bloated or we're in pain. But I think we're starting to feel more comfortable to address it, especially with our care teams, and really just acknowledge implications that some of these seemingly benign symptoms can have on the rest of our health, our diet. I know I have so many people come to me saying, well, I want to eat whole food plant-based because I understand that that's best for my diabetes and my insulin resistance, but I can't tolerate all the plants that it would require, or, replace diabetes with any other condition. And I would say that's really where people are seeking me out. So I just feel like gut health is such an important topic, and it really starts from day one of pregnancy, which is what we're seeing. But Dr. Marbas, I'd love to hear kind of what you're hearing about gut health, what you're researching about gut health, and how, as a primary care physician, you're supporting people with their gut health.
I think I love what you said, especially about the pregnancy piece, but I even go back further. If we look at epigenetics, right? So what my grandmother consumed affected my mother's eggs, which is half of me was hanging out there during that time. And genes were turned on, right? So that can have literally multiple generation effects on what we're consuming. And I think our gut health is a reflection of just our food system in general. I think if you look at the processed foods and all the things that are considered edible things, they're not really foods, I call them Franken foods. And just seeing what those things do to our health, not only just the gut health, but the gut takes the first assault, right? But then it's trying to make things right, but the body responds as well. So there's so many intertwined things going on with the gut, right? You have the nerves, and you have, like you said, the immune system. So many things, emotions. People say you get butterflies in your stomach. There's reasons for that. Our mind body is really our mind gut. And so I think it's really focused in on looking at the whole person. That's, as a family medicine physician, that is really my specialty, in the sense of not just looking at one particular area, but many times I hone in on the gut for sure. That's the beginning. Let's put what's in your mouth. How does that respond? And then looking at a variety of different things, because I, for example, work a lot with diabetics. This is one of my favorite things, is insulin resistance. We are talking a lot about what's going in their mouth, obviously, but we also talk a lot about mental health, right? The stress component, sleep, movement, all of those things will integrate back into gut health as well. So we can approach it in multiple ways. What's going in, but what are the other inputs that we're doing that also affect gut health? We are an integrated being. We are not just the mind or the brain, an eyeball, a hand. It reminds me of a story when my daughter was little. She did something, I can't even remember now what it was. She goes, but Mom, it wasn't me, it was my hand. And I was like, oh my heavens. So she's already doing this whole, she's going to be 30 in a few weeks now, but she's gotten over that. But I just thought it was really entertaining to see this child. She's already understanding that whole reductionist paradigm that just really get us in trouble with regular science, right? We've just become so separated. And also, like we were speaking before we went live on the integrated team approach, so many of us, we go see the cardiologist, we go see the endocrinologist, we go see the rheumatologist, but we never speak. And so the poor primary care doctor, they have 15 minutes to make sure they have all the meds correct, and then give you refills or one other medication to deal with the side effect of the other medication. So nobody has time to look at you as a whole person. And that's the beauty of what we do. We have time. And I would venture to say the expertise that a lot of people don't have, or the luxury to have. So I feel blessed in that sense.
I love that.
So beautifully said.